Hey everyone, it's Jordan. I just recently decided that I'm going to try to start making a little more use of my YouTube channel. And by a little more use, I mean I actually am going to use it, because previously, basically all it was 2 trailers and I think a book review. So I'm actually going to try to put something on it from now on, or well, every once in a while. It's not be too crazy. I'm going to try to. And so this is the beginning of that. Basically, my goal is to do videos about different things. Like for instance, this video is going to be more of a this is what I'm working on type of thing. Whereas some may be little videos about the books I'm reading, book I finished, a book review, maybe about the writing process, how I write, how I failed at some writing thing or whatnot. That type of deal, maybe stuff about just life in general, things that are going on, that type of thing. So topics could be whatever. But for today though, it's just what I'm doing now, what's going on. And first off, forgive the Christmas garland behind me. That went up whenever decided randomly that I was actually going to decorate a little bit for Christmas, and that was about it. And it's just not come down yet. I know it's almost June, but yeah, it'll be okay. So, like I said, what I'm working on now, let me rephrase that. What I was working on that thought I was going to be finishing up is an outline for the next young adult story. As I'm assuming most of you know, I just recently put out A Mark on My Soul, which was my debut young adult novel. And so naturally my goal was to write another young adult story, unrelated to the first, A Mark on My Soul, but something else, something new. And so basically for the last 6 months, I've been planning and preparing an outline for this next young adult novel. It's went through like 3, maybe even 4, I think, different stories, like totally different ideas. And just at this point, nothing is like clicked and just sort of stuck in my mind on it. So I think what I'm doing now is I'm sort of stepping back from that, and I'm going to work on a short story for the Into the Unknown collection that Caleb Weigel and I are putting together with different short sci-fi stories. And so basically this next story that I'm doing is going to be an LGBT-centric sci-fi horror story. So if you like sci-fi, if you like horror, it's all going to be in there. And it's going to be a short story. And by short, I mean shorter than a novel. So think like novella probably, because I tend to have a hard time doing short stories. And this one's definitely not going to be an exception to that rule. So yeah, so that's the next one. And then after that, I'm hoping to get back and try to get the young adult story that I wanted to write started and set up. We'll see how that goes. And of course, after that, hopefully get back to a little more horror potentially, maybe horror young adult stories, and see how that goes. Otherwise, I've also started putting together little quotes, phrases, poems, which will use the word like loosely because I don't think mine really qualify as poems because I don't really know how to write poetry, but they're laid out in verses and stuff like that. So I'm going to call them poems. So we'll see. So I started doing those recently, largely because of different things that have been going on in my life in the last 2-3 months. And so I've been putting down some of those thoughts on paper. And by paper, I mean the notepad in my phone. Because I'm not gonna. I have notepads. I do write on notepads, I promise, but phone's easier. So that aside, I been writing down some of those thoughts, and then going back sometimes and sort of digging into those ideas and those words, and rephrasing, refining them to get really what I was meaning out of them. And recently decided to put those into an image so that I could put those out, and maybe they can be help to you like they've been a help to me over the past couple weeks especially. And I've already put some of those out. You may have seen those on my Instagram, potentially on Facebook as well. I'm going to continue putting some of those out. I have a folder full of them, and we'll see how that goes. If you like them, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Sorry. As I tell other people, I write what I like, I write what I want. And so I hope you like it, but it's more for me than it is for anything, I guess. So just like with what I write in general, it's more for me than anything. Which I think that's sort of how you have to be when you write, because I can't understand. I couldn't get writing just for someone else. I have to write for me. So that's what I do, but that's beside the point. So those are coming along. That's what's happening there. I guess also with books, just recently finished Adam Silvera's More Happy Than Not, which is actually his first book, which happened to be the last of his books that I've read. It's an extremely good book, excellent book. You know, and I'm not one to try to be like, oh, you know, manly, I didn't cry or whatever, because I bawled like a baby reading it. So it's an extremely good book. It deals with a lot of the idea of, you know, these memories that you have that hurt, and you wanting to forget those memories, but sort of why they're there, and you know, why we don't need to forget those memories. So it's a hard book, especially if it was a hard book for me to read, but it was an extremely good book, extremely good read. So if you like, or if you haven't read it and you like Adam Silvera, definitely pick it up. If you've not read Adam Silvera, I don't know why you haven't done it yet, because he's amazing. So you need to. That one's a good book. History Is All You Left Me is probably my absolute favorite of his, and so that's a good one. And They Both Die at the End, which, yes, they do both die at the end, and I can say that because it's in the title and he admits it. But either way, that book is still so good. It's about the story and why, you know, what happens during the story, which makes it so amazing. It doesn't even matter that you know the ending of it. All very good books. He also has What If It's Us, which he co-wrote with Becky Albertalli, who I think I'm saying her name right. I'm not really sure, but with her as well. She's also the author of Simon versus the Homo sapiens Agenda, which they made into the movie Love, Simon, which is a bit of a rabbit hole, but that's okay. So yeah, so I read that one, really good book. And now I'm reading Sean David Hutchinson's We Are the Ants. I'm really not sure what that title has to do with anything at this point. Oh, no, maybe I do. Yep, I think I do. It's got aliens in it, so that might be why. Sorry, I've not got very far in it yet, but I'm reading it now. That's actually the book that's holding the camera up right now so that it's up here instead of down here. So yeah, so far it's a good book. People like it a lot, so I'm assuming I probably will. But yeah, where was I? Oh well. So basically, that's what these videos are gonna be like. And so I might get a little distracted, apparently. But yeah, so I'm writing a new short story right now. That one hopefully won't take too long. I'm about 90% through with the outline at this point, and then we'll go from there, and hopefully that'll come out pretty soon. Other than that, hope you look forward to that story. Hope you look forward to some of the quotes, phrases, and poems that I'll be putting out on Instagram and Facebook. And in the meantime, sometime we might see another YouTube video. Not gonna promise when, but otherwise, I hope you have a great day, and have a good one.